So we will move our marker to spring, advance this to 1803. The U.S. is going to get 4 frigates as reinforcements in Gibraltar, and we will then proceed to take a look at the cards and figure out what to keep for the coming year. So the U.S. had 3 cards left over, and they've drawn some additional ones. So we still have this, the new one that we got, Burn the Philadelphia. That's a handy one to have. Show of force is good. That can force one of the allies, Algiers, Tangiers, etc., Morocco, to drop out of their alliance. Naval movement, those are good cards to have. Bainbridge supplies intel. This is a great one because the U.S. can then go through their hand and pull out cards and reuse one card from the deck. Decatur is a good one because he can be used with the Intrepid or Burn the Philadelphia to increase the die rolls. So we've got to keep 8 cards. I'm thinking we already have 2 naval movement cards, so we'll just get rid of one of these, and it hopefully will come back again another time, but that will be the ones that we keep for the U.S. for 1803. All right, so the Tripolitanians had 4 cards left over from last time. They've drawn some additional cards here. Desert mercenaries, troops in Tripoli, happy hunting. That's going to improve their chances of sinking more stuff, more reinforcements, troops to Benghazi. This would have been a good one to have with the sinking of the Philadelphia. Might have increased the chance of something happening there. And then we have Algerian raiders. So we've got to cut this down somewhat. We've got to just keep 8 cards. So I think what we'll do is we definitely want to keep the Swedish one here because it's 1803 now. We can play this and remove the Swedes from the blockade. So we'll get rid of this Moroccan Corsairs raid because the Moroccans aren't in. So there's one down, and we've got to find one more. So that would be this uncharted waters, because we've already played the Philadelphia runs aground. We can't get any benefit from that, so that'll just go into the bin and maybe come back. Not that we could really do anything with it. All right, so for the U.S., I think our best course of action right off the bat is the naval movement card. That's going to allow us to move those 4 frigates, and we'll see where we station them. So I think our best bet, we've kind of got parity here. When in Algiers, the Swedes are going to be disappearing sometime this year. So probably best to move these 4 frigates into the patrol zone for Tripoli. That will give us 5 frigates to hopefully keep the pirates at bay. All right, so for the Tripolitanians, they're going to pay or play the Sweden pays tribute. This will basically have the Swedes become neutral. Their frigates will be removed, so they won't be able to intercept pirate raids. And on top of that, Sweden will pay the Tripolitanians 2 gold pieces. So this is the one we're going to use. That will remove these 2 frigates from the game. And now the Tripolitanians have got 2 gold pieces, and that card is out of circulation. So we'll advance the counter now to the summer, and the U.S. will do an attack here. We'll launch the Intrepid. The Intrepid was a captured ship and kind of used as a fire ship. Unfortunately, it didn't quite succeed in its historical mission in that it blew up before reaching its target. So we'll see if we're any luckier. We'll send the Intrepid into the harbor at Tripoli, see if we can blow something up. All right, so here we go. We're going to roll one die, and we rolled a 1, and that is the raid is a failure, no effect. So basically, repeating history in that regard. That card is removed from play. All right, the Tripletanians are going to try to come out and do a raid. They're going to play this one here, which allows them to raid from both Tripoli as well as, in this case, Algiers. And we'll see if they get lucky. They need to start getting themselves some tribute, and the only way to really get those gold coins is by doing raids. So this is a good card to play at this point in time. We'll see if they're lucky. So they're going to sail out here. They've got 2, 4, 6 ships there, and then the one here in Algiers. And the U.S. will take a shot at them as they come out and see how many they can get. So let's start first with our combat there. The
Tripletanians have opted to play
the Algerians.
a burning of the Philadelphia card. A single die roll will determine whether the ship is damaged, sunk, or captured by the Tripletanians.
Won't be coming back anytime soon. And now there'll be 10 dice, 2 for each U.S. frigate. And so we're going to use the 8 blue dice and 2 of the yellow dice and see what we get. 6s are damage or sunk. And we got nothing. All right, so all 6 of the Tripletanian Corsairs made it out to sea, and they are now going to be rolling their dice, but they're going to play this action card, which is Happy Hunting. They, in addition to the 6 dice they roll, they get to roll an additional 3 dice. So we'll see what comes up with that. So they have 9 dice altogether, 6 for their for the ships that made it out, plus the 3 for that Happy Hunting card. And we'll see what comes up. 5s and 6s are good. And we've got 1, 2, 3 that's scored. So that's going to be 3 gold coins then for them. And they can also play this merchant ship converted. So if they've had a successful raid, they can get a Tripletanian Corsair in the harbor. So they basically converted a merchant ship over to a Corsair. So that was a good raid for them. All right, so we advance the marker to the fall turn, and the U.S. Doesn't really have too much they can do at this stage. So what we'll do is we're going to play this Bainbridge Supplies Intel card, and we're going to go through the deck, and we are going to pull out the Constantinople Demands Tribute, and we can play that. So that will then take 2 gold coins away from the Tripletanians. And both of those cards go back into the regular pile. And so now the Tripletanians only have 3 gold instead of 5. And that's going to keep them from doing too much as far as achieving victory. Now, if we're looking at them again, what are some of the things we can do? Well, the Algerians are gone, so we don't have to. We can't use this, but we can play it to mount another raid. So we're going to play this and do another raid out of Tripoli. So here we go again. Back over here to beautiful Tripoli. This time we've got 7 ships sailing out, 7 Corsairs sailing out. We'll see if we can make it through the American blockade. All right, so once again, the Americans have got 10 dice. See what we get. We have a single 6, so that is 1 Tripletanian ship sunk, returned to the supply bin. And now we're going to roll for the Tripletanians. They have 6 dice, 5s and 6s. There's no modifiers this time, so we'll see what they come up with. And we have 2 5s and a 6, so that's 3 more tribute. 1, 2, 3. So that brings them up to altogether now 6 tribute. All right, the marker advances to winter, and the U.S., what can we do? Well, some of these aren't going to be playable yet. We want to keep this one for next year when Hammett's army is formed. We can't really use the show of force because there's no allies to show of force to. Send in the Marine, burn the Philadelphia. You want to keep that in case the Tripletanians ever get a frigate. So we will just play the send in the Marines in order to move one of our frigates. So we won't use it for the effect, but just for activation. And actually what we'll do is we won't move a frigate, we will create a gunboat. So that way when we decide to do some bombardments, we've got that handy. All right, it is the Pirates' turn. And they're going to go out and do another raid, I think. So we'll play this Troops to Benghazi card in order to force a raid, so not for its actual value, but for going out. So that's 2, 4, 6 ships out again. And we're going to roll, see how well we do with making it past the American blockade. All right, so the U.S. has got 5 frigates, 10 dice. And there are 2 6s, so that is going to result in 2 Corsairs being sunk, and that means that 4 are going to make the breakout. So let's roll to see how they do. The Tripletanians need 5s and 6s, and they don't roll any, so that was a failure all the way around. Hey, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please click the like button. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe, and feel free to share this video out on social media with any other like-minded human beings out there in the universe. If you've got questions, comments, suggestions for future topics or games for me to look at, please make note of those in the comment section, and I will personally respond. Until then, be well and stay out of trouble.